What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Do Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Gotcha. Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live. You know what? Saturday's show edition and with sound even. So, we went the extra mile to make sure you guys could actually hear us today. So, hopefully you guys get a little bit of a laugh out of that. All right. As you guys all know, yesterday we did have a little bit of an audio issue. Yep, it happens, but we got it all seemingly fixed today. So we're going to get into a few topics. I got 5 headlines now. The main topic of the day, which is obviously, if you can tell from the thumbnail within, is going to be the Detroit Lions offense. Can they help pick up the pace, get back to form from last year or the last few years? We're going to dive into all that. We've got injury updates and galore, the whole shebang-a-bang. Real quick, before we get into all that, though, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 8,100 subs, and we're about, we'll say 80 subs away from that. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, if you would be so kind, take a half second of time, reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, the like button, whatever you want to call it. You guys all know it helps the channel out a lot. We try to get every show between 200 to 300 or more thumbs up or likes, just so more and more people can help discover the channel who haven't yet found it. Last but never least, outside of being a YouTuber and a coach, I am a realtor, have been since the early 90s. So if you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, you can give me a call or shoot me a text. Let's have a quick conversation, see what I can do to help you save some money on maybe that new vacation land or maybe a commercial building, or perhaps you're looking for just a new home for you and the family to move to. Whatever it is, give me a call, shoot me a text. We'll have a conversation, see what we can do to save you some money, make the process easier, and go from there. If you're outside of the state of Michigan, you can still contact me. Just got to do some things a little bit differently. Again, you see my number on your screen. Go ahead and reach on out. All right, with all the formalities out of the way, let's get into the show, get it going, and let's go ahead and get into the first segment of the day, which is 5 headlines now. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's get it going. First one, enemy confidential. Seattle Seahawks gearing up for a hard-nosed Detroit Lions. Sports Illustrated story by Corbin Smith, and this comes from the Seattle Seahawks division of Sports Illustrated. So most of you guys know they have a beat reporter for each of the NFL teams, just like they do with NBA, Major League Baseball, etc. Smith does a pretty good job diving into some of the strengths and weaknesses of the Detroit Lions, analyzes it for the Seattle Seahawks fans. Those who maybe aren't as familiar with us can dive in, have an idea of what's going on before we get into Monday night's game. And he does a real good job detailing all those fine points. So if you get some free time this weekend or before the game, go ahead and check it out. I think it's a worthwhile read. Golden Tate loves the new Detroit Lions SB Nation story by R.J. Orchada. So I think R.J. is on it as far as what Golden Tate is saying with this story. Most of you guys know in the preseason, the former Detroit Lions wide receiver great did broadcast for the preseason games regarding the team. Hey, I thought he got better each week. Most people think broadcasting or whatever just is easy for people. Some people handle it very well. Some people do not. I thought Golden Tate showed clear improvement throughout it. Now he talks about the improvement on the field from when he played for the Lions to what the organization is now. If you've been a Lions fan for any length of time, I think it's safe to say we can all agree the franchise. It started with Sheila Ford Hamp to Chris Spielman's hiring and working their way on down. The the whole organization has grown exponentially to where you could argue now it is one of the best franchises in all of professional sports. Let that sink in, because I still struggle with it, but hey, it is what it is. The Lions have changed things around. Golden Tate notes and goes through what he thinks has made the team now so prominent in the NFL. Again, another good read. All right, Detroit Lions embracing another prime time spotlight and new black jerseys too. MLive.com by Mr. Raven Moore himself. We all get it. Hutchinson came out and did an interview a couple days ago saying he thought all the fans should come on out and support the team by wearing all black too, just like the uniforms the players are going to wear. Try to get that kind of fan base going. Try to just have that kind of vibe at Ford Field. The players are aware this is a big week for them. This is a big contest for them. And yes, I'm going to keep every once in a while, just so you guys know from here on out, I'm going to keep looking down at the mic, making sure that mute button hasn't been hit. But, just do what they can to help rally the team, get to this game, face the Seahawks. We all get it. They're undefeated, 3-0. We're 2-1. If we could both teams could leave at 3-1, that's great for the Detroit Lions, because now they would have the tiebreaker over them. And this is a big test for the Seattle Seahawks too, just because they're the knock on them is they haven't played anybody. But for the Detroit Lions, we all get it. They came into the season with Super Bowl or bust expectations, even though MCDC doesn't want anybody referencing the bust part. It is a lot of pressure on the team. The players are aware. They know what the challenge is. A team they haven't beaten in a while, let's be honest, in the Seahawks, keeps coming into Ford Field, keeps leaving Ford Field with a win. It's going to be a matchup issue for those wide receivers like it has been in the past. So it's going to be a multi-layered event for everybody throughout the organization. Let's see if they can get into it and win it. Detroit Lions hope revived rushing attack can help solve Mike McDonald's Seattle. Boy, I can't say. Seahawks defense. Detroit Free Press Dave Burkett. Most of you guys are aware the Seahawks head coach used to run the defense for the University of Michigan, help coach Hutchinson. They do have, at least statistically right now, 3 weeks in, going to week 4, one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's also a defense, though, that the Lions feel like they are built to try to take on. They're going to try to rush the ball. We all get it. Last week was a return to form with all the rushing attempts that the Lions put up, from crazy legs Jared Goff to David Montgomery to Jahmyr Gibbs. The Lions went after the Cardinals last week. They understand they need to do that again Monday night. I think if we can get that going, you know what, this offense could really get clicking. All right, last of the 5 headlines now. Sam Laporta, Sam I Am, returns to practice as full participant on Friday. Pro Football Talk. Why is this important? Well, I think it's important for a lot of different reasons. One, you get Friday, full go practice. That's your last real practice. My anticipation is, although I don't know, they could still go full steam in practice today, just because they do have Sunday off before Monday. But if they don't go full practice today, then there's going to be probably a walkthrough dress rehearsal both today and tomorrow, leading into Monday night. Sam Laporta being out there, and he's not the only one we're going to talk about here, but it's a huge win for the Lions because he is a huge cog in this offense, in the blocking assignments. He draws defenses to him. We all get it. There's a multitude layer of different reasons why you want Sam Laporta out there versus anybody else. And it's no disrespect to any other of the Detroit Lions tight ends. It's just Laporta is, the best offensive option for them. But now let's get into the rest of the injury report if we have a half second of time here. All right, after missing Thursday's practice, as we said, Laporta's back. That's good reason for his potential availability for Monday night's game. Through 3 games, Laporta has 8 receptions for 94 yards. Vastly different than what he was a year ago, but again, a lot of different reasons for that. Other good news for the Detroit Lions offensive tackle Dan Skipper, ribs, was a full participant. He did sit out Thursday. He was back yesterday. My guess is he's going to be good to go come Monday night, especially with another 72 hours of rest, and because that's basically what he'll have before kicking off late Monday night. Defensive back Brian Branch, who most of you guys know was listed with concussion during the latter portions of last weekend's game against the Arizona Cardinals, went from limited to full practice, as did defensive tackle Aleem McNeil with his shoulder injury. Also, defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike, who's having a little bit of an issue with one of his knees. He did get to full practice yesterday, so good news throughout the whole listing of people for the Detroit Lions. Onwuzurike, I don't think was ever really in doubt or questioned to play Monday night. There was at least some speculation about whether or not Aleem McNeil would be able to fully play, but now I think that's going to be put to rest. If you recall, earlier this week, I believe it was Wednesday, McNeil came out and said, he anticipated playing. He thought he was near 100% recovered. Just need a little bit more time for that shoulder injury to kind of heal up. It appears he did, and now he's got 72 hours until kickoff. Other injury news for you, quarterback Enos Rakestraw, hamstring, still limited at practice. My guess is he won't play this week. It would be my anticipation he has this week off, then the bye week, then comes back and can play against the Dallas Cowboys. Center Frank Ragnow also with his pectoral muscle was out of practice. You're not going to see him today, tomorrow, or whatever. They're going to rest him like we've been talking about all week. My guess is as probably within about 48 hours of the Dallas Cowboy game, that's when he probably would return, because that more or less gives him 3 full weeks off to help heal, recover, do what they can. Safety Ife Melifanu also remains out. Not a big surprise there. He's got to be close to nearing that end of the... You guys remember when we did the breaking news article or story on him? The inside source we had said it would be 3 to 6 weeks for him to recover. They were doing everything they could to avoid surgery on that Achilles injury. It wasn't a complete rupture or tear or anything, but they were going to have to aggressively rehab it as best they can. He's near the end of that 6-week window, so my anticipation also, sort of like with Frank Ragnow, once you get past that bye week, get him into the week after that, leading up to the Cowboys, he's probably back from there. We also have one other thing for you guys real quick from Pro Football Focus. I'm going to go and pull this up on the screen. They just talk about the Lions-Seahawks game briefly. Figured I'd throw it at you guys. It's a real quick video beat, so let's get that onto the screen. And we'll play about a minute and a half of it just because I don't want to push the YouTube algorithm and risk playing the full 2 minutes of it. So let me skip forward a wee bit here so you get to the meat of it, and here we go.
Picking to win. I'm going to take the Lions. I'm not totally a believer in the Seahawks. Yeah, they've had the most favorable schedule, I think, in all of football. I mean, you got week 1, Bo Nix on the road, playing his first game ever in Seattle. You got Jacoby Brissett and a Patriots offense that's not very good. And then last week they got the Tua-less Dolphins up there. So that's where I'm not going to totally buy in. I like what I see. I definitely do. There's no doubt about that. But I think the Lions got back on track last week. As far as at least they got back to their running game and played a run-first type of attitude. Their defense looked really good, right? I do think Seattle is scary on offense. They've shown the propensity to run the ball a little bit this year, and we know with those guys outside at receiver, they're real. But Detroit's got a lot of big people to stop the run, and they're definitely better in the secondary. So with all of that, I'm going 31-24 Lions in this one.
Yeah, look, I foolishly picked against the Lions last week. I think that...
All right, guys. Sorry, I can't play too much of it. Otherwise, YouTube's going to say that's a bozo no-no, so I have to get away from that. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get over to the main topic of the day and talk about this Detroit Lions offense. We all get it. It's been building up. It's been getting better week by week, but now let's dive into it. One other question I want to throw at you guys, let me know in the comment section. I'm trying to incorporate more and more of these video clips from different media outlets. Do you guys enjoy them? Do you think they're a distraction? Let me know so I know whether or not to continue looking for stuff like that and adding it to the show or just avoiding it. So you guys let me know and go from there. All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions offense. We've all been talking about a little bit, I'm going to guess, throughout each of the 3 weeks of the season so far, Jared Goff's performance. And it's not just him. It's the offensive line, it's the receivers, it's the running backs. It's everything. But let's start with Goff because let's be fair. Everything goes through your quarterback. I don't care which team you have. Goff's performance is steadily improved on a week-to-week basis. Do you feel like he's about ready to break out? Do you think the rust or the preseason, whatever you want to call it, getting back into the tune with the offense, do you think he's about ready to make that next step forward, kind of getting back to last year's form? And if it's me, from a coaching standpoint, I'm going to go with yes, because you look at last week's game. I want to say in the first half, he didn't even miss a pass. So don't hold me to this. I want to say it was like 12 out of 12 or 14 out of 14 the first half. Second half, though, the Cardinals made some clear adjustments defensively to the Lions offense to try to limit them a wee bit. And I think you could see that affecting Goff. You could see it affecting Ben Johnson, but also the offensive line. If you've watched any of my live casts or any of the shows basically since week one, I've been critical of the offensive line, but I have pointed out it hasn't played great. I would say your tackles, for the most part, let's begin with Becker and Penei Sewell. I think they both played, pretty well. I'm not going to say 100%, but I'm going to say they're both in the 90 percentile. I do think against Tampa Bay, Penei Sewell, that might have been his worst game in the NFL. He did not play well by any stretch of imagination. I'm sure a lot of that had to do with his ankle, trying to power through it. Give some respect also to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now go into the guards and center. Kevin Zettler, I think he's played as consistent as anybody on this team, regardless of offensive line, defensive line, or anything like that. That dude is just steady Eddie, whatever you want to say. He's inflammable. Frank Ragnow, I get he's going to miss this week, but I do also think against the Buccaneers, that might have been his worst game in years. So again, just inconsistency at some points on the offensive line. Graham Glasgow, I get he's playing a new position to him, so I'm giving him a little bit of a pass just because while to most of us we think it's mad, and hey, I just take somebody from the right side to the left side and it's no big deal. For an athlete, though, it is a big deal because your primary hands and foot movements are all now mirror images of each other. You're having to get used to doing everything in basically reverse. So I'm giving him a little bit of a break, but I also think he hasn't played great. So you look through all that, plus some of the adjustments other teams are doing to us, and what I think Ben Johnson is still trying to Scooby-Doo out of this offense. What do you guys think? Where would you say the biggest level of improvement needs to be this week and basically the rest of the upcoming games, the next 2-3 games for the Detroit Lions? Is it all on Ben Johnson? Is it on the offensive line? Is it on Jared Goff? Is it on a culmination of all three? That's where I think we need to analyze as fans here and say, hey, we can't just yell and scream, hey, replace this guy. Hey, this guy's not doing their job. To me, I look at the tape as much as I can. And it's just my opinion. You're free to have your own. But I think all three levels need to perform better. It's hard for me to really get too mad with the receiver room or tight end room. We all get Sam Laporta. He's played better and better on a week-to-week basis. And probably the most realistic reason behind that is, he's getting healthy. His hamstring isn't a big a deal like it was in preseason. His ankle, we'll see Monday night, but my anticipation is he's probably going to be okay to go Monday night. We'll see him get back to things like we saw last year in his rookie year. Now, how much defenses clamp on him, that's also going to be a test. St. Brown, week one, it wasn't great, but also some of that was, give us some respect to the Rams, they were putting two guys on him and saying, you've got to go somewhere else. That could be also why Jameson Williams had a breakout game week one. You're putting two guys on him. You're trying to limit Laporta. Well, you can't stop everybody. Jameson Williams came on out and had a pretty good week one. Week two, same thing. They tried to take away Laporta. They tried to take away St. Brown. Jameson Williams had a pretty good week two. What changed last week with Jameson Williams? Was it just the Lions didn't go to him? I would say not so fast. Look at the game tape, and you can see the Arizona Cardinals are paying a lot more attention to him than they were than other teams were earlier in the season. Because of that freed up Laporta, it freed up Gibbs, it freed up other offensive weapons. And I think this is going to be a problem for the Detroit Lions fan base probably the rest of this year. I think you look at the thumbnail just for today. And, I try to make these thumbnails as fun and engaging as possible. Eye candy, whatever you want to say. But you got, let's see, you got St. Brown, you got Jameson Williams, you got Gibbs, you got Laporta. So there's no Montgomery, there's no Tim Patrick. I mean, you got a lot of guys who are big offensive weapons who aren't even in this thumbnail. So imagine being the offensive coordinator. Imagine being the quarterback. Imagine being the opposing defensive coordinator. How do you stop them all? That's probably the problem. You can't keep everybody happy. You can't get everybody 5 catches a game. So I do think Jared Goff early in the season was probably trying to force too many passes to Jameson Williams, to specific people, just to get them involved, instead of just going back, dropping back, saying, all right, who's open on this play? If they're taking away this guy and that guy, who's going to be open? Now, further exacerbate the problem. The Lions did bring up Tim Patrick and signed him permanently to the 53-man roster for a reason. They think he can play and he can help. They also brought up Allen Robinson. And I only had one snap last week, and it was basically on a running play. He was there to block, and he did not do a great job, by the way, if you watch the film. But they did bring him up for another reasons, too. They think they can help. At the start of the season, before we even did an official game, a lot of people were wondering about the Lions wide receiver room. They're probably not worried about it anymore. You look at that thing, and that thing is 6 people deep because you go through the top 3. You go through St. Brown, you go through Jameson Williams, you go through Khalif Raymond. Well, now you got Isaiah Williams, now you got Tim Patrick, and now you got Allen Robinson. So that wide receiver room went from being kind of a weakness or a question mark to a real strength of the team. So, all right, I've thrown a lot at you guys. Let yourselves digest it. Let me know in the comments section. Do you think the Lions offense is about ready to get back to basically 2022, 2023 form? Or do you think we're going to keep hanging around 20 points a game, doing a lot of stuff on the ground, setting up some play action, getting 250 or so yards passing a game? I think we're getting close to breaking out. That's my personal thought. I think we're going to start getting more games where we score 26, 30 points a game because of how strong we are on the ground. And I get Oswaka is going to come in and play guard this week. And I may not fully pronounce his name correctly. Anybody who's watched the show knows I struggle to pronounce my own name correctly half the time. So don't be too crazy on me. All right, let's get over to the Duke crew. And you guys, I see the comments section is a moving and shaking. I think the Lions offense is going to continue the trend upwards. I think Goff is going to start being more and more what we saw, especially in the first half against Arizona. And you could even say at times against Tampa Bay in the first half. I do think the second half, you've seen a clear breakdown in both games. Some of that I'm going to put on Goff. Some of it I'm going to put on the offensive line. Some of it, yes, I'm going to put on Ben Johnson because I don't want to, say nobody is without fault. I think all 3 levels need some accountability. And when we get that, we can get a little bit more familiar with each other. Now they used to have more consistency. All right, Michael D, greetings and salutations, coach and Duke crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, one pride, woo, woo. And good morning to you too, Michael. JDC, good morning all. Good morning to you too. JDC, go Tigers, 100%, man. Congrats to the Detroit Tigers coming back from being 10 games down with a month to play or whatever it was, 6 weeks, a month, whatever, and securing a playoff spot with like a game or 2 left. That's incredible. Now you're actually talking about playoff positioning. I mean, I'm going to listen to their games. I don't know if I'll watch them, but I'll probably listen to them while doing other stuff because this is one heck of a ride they're getting into. And just very few sports teams, in not just baseball, but any level, pull off something like this. It is really one for like a Disney movie. All right, Jason, check. Is this thing on? Question mark. I knew the shots were coming today. Today's guest is a sign language certified Superdome or bust, 100%. And yes, I am going to keep checking it. Also, I've reconfigured my computer table so I could put my phone up in front of the screen. So when a bunch of you guys shot me text yesterday during the muting or silencing of the lambs, what do you want to say? So now when that happens, I'll be able to see it and maybe have a clue a little bit faster at least. All right, Robert, greetings and salutations back at you. Robert, Dan, maybe sign language would help us. Hey, you can, nothing else. At least I was able to get the comments up on the screen so you can read the comments, right? Hey, you got to take the good with the bad, my friends. Jason, no one realized that I have been Dan's podcast writer until I re-signed yesterday. He was speechless. I was, man. Thank you so much for all your countless efforts. JDC laughing. Robert, Johnny Gaz wouldn't do that to us, Coach. Hey, let's hope not. Let's see, Robert, Jason, if you keep this up, we're going to get you on Merv Griffin's show. Now, that's a throwback. Yes, indeed. See, Michael D, I was practicing my lip reading. Man, oh man, was Dan cussing up a storm yesterday. Exclamation point. Every other word. I was, man. Hey, had to try to take the show in a new direction. Robert, silent but deadly used to mean something else. 100% there. Jason, Lions Talk Live is the greatest show on YouTube. That goes without saying. I knew it was going to be a fun day today. Jess, greetings, salutations, do fam. Man, if we can get the O going again, this team would be near unstoppable. You're right, man, because let's be fair. The defense has played incredibly well. Yes, we're going to be without Barnes for a bit, without Rakestraw, whatever this is, week 2 or 3, something like that, without him. And unfortunately, Davenport more than likely is going to be out for the season. I'm hoping he can come back maybe like the last month of the season. Maybe they just brace him up real good, but that's going to be a heck of a comeback. Whatever it is, it's going to be next man up. When somebody goes down, it's an opportunity for somebody else. Just like if you want to use like the Rams of yesteryear, when Trent Green went down with an injury in preseason, it was an opportunity for Kurt Warner, and you can go through a laundry list of other people in the NFL history. All right, Robert, Hatman, fire it up. And the coffee, that is, 100%. Get it going this morning. Clark, hey, Coach, check your mic. Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of that today. Robert, Lions will have their hands full with the Seahawks, but I'm confident of our victory. I am too, man. And it's no disrespect to anybody, but if you're not confident as an athlete or as a coach or a fan, that's probably a problem. That means there's something about your team you don't believe in. And every Lions fan out there, if you're over 4 years old, you probably have the right to have some kind of question marks ingrained in you. But also let this sink in. I make the joke about the age, but think about it. If most 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds or whatever, if you're that generation or younger, you only really remember the Lions being good. You don't really remember any of the struggles. So let that also sink into Lions fans. 10 years from now, if we keep this up, everybody will be like, what are you talking about? They're bad. I mean, they've been great my entire life. So let that sink in. All right, Eddie, what do you got? Green Sanitations. Man, I hope we win this game. Everyone see Dallas might not have Parsons or Lawrence when we play them. Yeah. I know yesterday it started hitting the wires, and Hutch Jr. sent it over to me while I was, showing some houses and stuff. That the news came out. One of them's got a high ankle sprain. The other one's got just an injury. Could they both miss our game against them in 2 weeks? Absolutely. My guess is they're going to be back, at least one of them. Now, will they be 100%? That I don't know. But if they're both out, then, kudos to us. We caught a break. Hookadoo, good morning, Coach and the Duke crew. Oh, yeah. Woo! And good morning to you, Hookadoo. Jason, we have yet to get both the offense and defense on point for a game. Monday night, question mark. I think there's a real good opportunity, especially since you have an extra day to kind of rest some of the guys. Thankfully, you have an extra day to kind of work in the new offensive alignment, I should say. So there's a lot of good things setting up. I did not check yesterday's injury report from the Seattle Seahawks. I'll do that and have it all for tomorrow's show. But I know, like we talked about, well, I shouldn't say we talked about, but I pointed out on the screen yesterday when I was talking, you guys couldn't hear me. They do have a number of injuries at linebacker and defensive line. So that front seven, whether or not it's going to be 100%, I don't know. It's probably more than likely not going to be 100%. It's probably as good a setup for the Lions as you can anticipate going into this game. You're still going to have to stop Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I mean, they've got some offensive weapons for sure. We've struggled with that the last few years. Plus, you're going to have to score some points this game. Grant's good day, Duke Crew gang. Congrats on the Tigers, FYI. Really happy to read Laporta practice. Yeah, I think most people are going to be real happy that he returned. France, Jason, I'm hoping so. Hatman, good morning. Silent Dan and the Duke Crew. Can I get a woo, woo? Hey, do you want one? I'll give you one. Why not? You know, and then at least you guys could hear those yesterday. 100%. Robert, what exactly? Stephanie, good morning, boys. Mic check, check one, check two. Ha. Yes. Let's just bring it on, get it out of the way today. See, Robert, Tigers, woo, 100%. Stephanie, do we know roughly how long Frank is going to be out? I don't think there's been anything official. I get if you ask Ragnow, he would play Monday night. I think they're making the right move and not letting him play just so he can more or less have 3 weeks off to recover. Is that going to be enough? Man, that I don't know. Everybody heals differently. My anticipation is he's going to be probably back against the Dallas Cowboys, but could it be longer? Sure. All right, Hookadoo, I think the silent picture show is over, Stephanie. Yes, hopefully the sound is back. Stephanie, dreams are crushed. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Lions gang, it will come down to which team has the better quarterback, Goff versus Smith, and I think Smith is better. They're very similar in a lot of ways. I mean, Smith probably has more mobility built into his game, but not that it's saying much. I think just about every quarterback in the NFL has more mobility than Jared Goff. As far as where things go from a quarterbacking standpoint, just far as throwing the ball, I think they're pretty dang similar. But again, I think you're splitting hairs of the difference between the two. Trey, what's good? All question mark. Hey, Coach Dan, do you feel we will look to add anyone to the team still? It is possible. I don't think anybody who's a Lions fan doubts that Brad Holmes ever stops trying to improve the team. So I think getting close to the trade deadline, if there's a deal that makes sense, if somebody should get cut, would the Lions look to acquire them? Probably. Lion King, we can't go a whole half being shut out. Jared Goff must be consistent. Yeah, and last week was really a tale of two Goffs. We scored in the first half, I want to say 3 of our 4 drives. He completed whatever it was. Again, I don't remember the stat off the top of my head, but I want to say like 13 or 14 straight passes. Then the second half happened. The one thing I will say, Lions King, that makes me think the offense did do some good stuff in the second half is really the only thing that stopped them on a few drives was the false starts, the holdings. You clean up that stuff, the self-inflicted wounds, then I think probably the Lions would have scored some more points last week. Tori, I love that we have a Monday Night Football game, but I hate having to wait another day to watch us play. I get that totally, 100%. Hey, man, on a side note, that running back that Maryland has is a beast. Kind of reminds me of Monty. Yeah, there are definitely some similarities there, 100%. Papa Noel, what do you got? Goff has not been strong this season. When he performs most consistently, the offense will develop. Yeah, you got to have consistent play out of your quarterback spot. You got to be able to keep drives going to score points, and I agree with you there. Hookadoo, Tori Apple, I agree, but it's one more day of rest for our Lions. This is true. That is the positive side. You do get more time to heal up and get more new faces built into the team. See, Dan, what do you got? Good morning! Exclamation point. Has anybody noticed teams play poorly in the game after playing us? Question mark. Almost as if they've used all their energy and focus to play us. Will be interesting to see how the Cards fare Sunday. No, I think you're spot on, and I think a lot of that is kind of by design with Detroit. We play a very physical brand of football on the offensive side. We all get it. We go after you. We beat defenses down. So what did you see against the Cards? The Rams, the week they played the Cards after us, their defense was shot, and a lot of it's injuries. Okay, I get that. A lot of it is the Lions wore them down significantly. Now, what did Tampa Bay do the week after us, like you're alluding to? Yeah, they just couldn't stop anybody. And probably some of that is the defense was beat up from playing a very physical style of Lions offensive football. So we'll have to see how the Cards do. Drake, first time I've been able to catch a live in months after switching shifts. Coach, let me get a woo. You know what? Hey, your first time back in a while, I'll give you a Sheila. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. Lions King. In many ways, Jared Goff is New York Giants Daniel Jones 2.0. Both are inconsistent, and the difference, Lions have better talent around Goff. That could be true. I mean, Jones is a little bit more mobile, but Goff, I would say this, it's harder to catch him off guard with defenses just because he's been in the league now 9 years or whatever it is. He's seen just about everything. I actually think he's played better than probably most fans are going to give him, a shake on. The interceptions I get, but I've also kind of pointed out in the past episodes, I think a lot of the interceptions, not last week's for sure. Last week's against the Cards, that's just a great defensive play. But I think most of the other interceptions, just early season stuff, timing stuff, guys getting used to the offense type stuff. All right, Jameer, as much as it pains me to say this, but we have to root for Green Bay to win over the Vikings Sunday. That will put the Vikings at 3-1 instead of 4-0, and we need to win on Monday night. We'll be tied. Yeah, you'd have a 3-way tie for first place at that point. So I agree with you there. Voltron, man, root for Green Bay? Question mark. I don't know. I might root for Minnesota unless we really think the Vikings are better than the Pack. I'll leave that to each of you guys to dive into. To Jameer, also remember, Hutch wants us to wear all black. Yes, for the all black jerseys if you can have them. Yeah. I know he's called for that. I think him and a couple of the Lions players have pointed out. I'll leave that to you guys. If you're going to the game, go have fun. Wear black if you want to help with the blackout game. See, Dave, they can't both lose. Let's hope they can. If Green Bay and Minnesota can both lose, that would be awesome. Although, not really sure how that would happen. Lion King, reading my comments, you can detect I'm not a Goff slappy. I just don't like his game. I'm sorry, fellas. No, it's okay, man. Go with what works for you. I don't mind Goff. I don't love him. I don't hate him. But the only thing I will say is you've got him for at least a couple more years and see where it goes from there. So because of that, I'm going to cheer for him to do the best he can every time out there because obviously that benefits the team. Brent, good morning, Dan. The Duke Crew. Chickens are going down 35-20, exclamation point. Oh, yeah, and I'll go with that. I think you are correct there. Detroit D, we have to limit the explosive plays and passing game to Metcalf and Lockett and force Geno into bad decisions. Yeah, really kind of force them to dink and dime. Don't give up any big plays to them. I think you're spot on with that, D. Yeah, I agree fully. So Smoke, just win, baby. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Win and advance. All right, Okadu. God, that is a tough choice rooting for Green Bay. I'll leave that to each of you. I hope they both cannot win. See, Miles Barger, green salutations, coach and crew. Now that we have many Lions fans down south, hope you, your families, and pets are all safe and secure. That was a nightmare storm for you. Yeah, real powerful stuff. I know yesterday here in Michigan, we were getting remnants of the storm, as far as the wind except. It wasn't bad by any means, not like what they went through down south, but yeah, hopefully everybody is safe. Jedi Sith, good morning, back at you. Hopefully I'm a good one. Jameer, I hate Green Bay. Well, then, hey, let's root for, well, I guess, I don't know, do you want them to lose? Do you want them to win? I'll let you decide. Okay, good morning, Miles Barger. I know my uncle and aunt live in Tampa Bay. Yeah, hopefully they're okay. I know some areas still having the water trying to recede before they can come on back. All right, Jameer, WWE can't let the Vikings, or we can't let the Vikings have one up on us. Yeah, if we can, that'd be great. Just over the course of the season, I'm not sure who's going to sustain more. I guess wait and see. Let's see, Robert, we all hate Green Bay. Well, there might be a lot of truth to that. Hatman, Robert Yankee, what is going on, bud? Frank the Tank, what up, though, Duke Crew? Woo, woo, go Lions, 100% Tank. Good to see you, my friend. JDC, my wife is a Vikings fan, and I'd rather be dead than on Cheddarhead. Fair enough. Well, it's good to have that split household. See, Miles Marga, Hookadoo, G, hope they are okay. It was a hell of a killer storm. Yeah, it was, man. And thoughts and prayers to all affected. See, Lions King, Seattle won't stop our running game, but there will still be a third and intermediate downs. Jared Goff will have to throw dimes. Fortunately, he has Tim Patrick now. Yeah, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson. The Lions got some weapons. They should be, especially Tim Patrick, fairly on cue with the offense at this point, where the times, like against Tampa, I get, he's going out there on a week's worth of practice. I get some of the miscommunications on routes there. That should be in the past, I would think, by now. Phil, greetings and salutations. Back at you, Phil. Hopefully having a good one. Hey, man, JDC, if she was a cheddar, you would be divorced. Ooh, that could be. Hookadoo, Miles Marker, they are safe. Their house is 32 feet above sea level. The storm surge didn't come close to the house. They're lucky, man, because I know that was not the case for a lot of people. Amy, good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew, exclamation points. Let's get it together. One pride, go Lions. Woo, woo. Good to see you this morning, Amy. Hopefully having a great one. JDC, Hatman, laughing out loud. Yep, lots of them running loose here. There you go. Lion King, Vikings are fraudulent. No running game, they won't make playoffs. Okay, we'll go with that then. Let's hope they win then, by that logic. Jameer, always go Lions, 100%. I concur with you there. Let's see, Miles Barker, good news, exclamation point. Hookadoo, glad for them. Hope they have power too. Yeah, I'm guessing a few places will be without power and water for at least a little bit, but hopefully they get it back, local municipalities, as quick as they can to all affected. See, Dr. Detroit, good morning. Back at you, Dr. Detroit. Hopefully you're having an outstanding day. Lions King, we are behind our baseball team. Go get them, Tigers. Growl will. All right, Growl, we'll go with all of the above. Phil, Tigers, yes. Creative idea. Welcome back, Dan's Den. Let's go. Yes, and sound included today. Matthew, greetings and salutations. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. Sheila likes to woo in the fresh morning dew. Yeah, that might be true. And yeah, just for you. All right, JDC, the woo came through yesterday in that time of silence, though. Hey, sometimes you need something to stand out in a moment of pause. There we go. Amy, Dan, I notice you don't do the 4 division teams anymore, at least once a week. Yeah, I haven't done the NFC North news and notes as much. Some of that is, Amy, just haven't been anything I really thought were pronounced notes. But when that happens, I'll get those up there. It's also just trying to fit everything into the time frame. So that's the other part. All right, Jason, Bobo sleep in this morning? Question mark. He sees Super Bowl. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully he's okay. Phil, when does your team start practice, Dan? How are they looking this year? We'll start preseason conditioning in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. We'll find out, man. Right now, we're 0-21. Well, actually, let me rephrase it. We're 0-22 until we get at least win. Then we can move up the boards. Phil, Sheila would be running forward. We could use a good American-made car or truck. Hey, we'll leave that to her, although I think that's Bill's responsibility nowadays. Don't hold me to that. I don't really pay attention too much. Let's see, Lions King, I want to see Miss Sheila hold high the Lombardi Trophy. Yeah, that'd be great, because you know what that means? That means we won it. Miles Barker, Amy's Brian, I'd like that too. 4-team look-see, there you go. Dash Render, hope the Lions crush Seattle and DK scores for my fantasy football team. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Maybe that can be part of the 30-7 Lions win. Get you a one score, and then, yes, we get the big win. Phil, Sheila can't hold anything high. She's 4'11". Is she really that short? I didn't know that. So thanks for that. Chew, what do you got? Detroit 41, Seahawks 17, Aiden Hutchinson 2.5 sacks. Man, that would be awesome. Dan, skip your fantasy football team. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn about fantasy football and all that stuff. The only thing I can say to you guys is, most of my neighbors are pretty diehard Lions fans. Last week, since it was a away game, we all got together and watched it for a bit. One of them, he does betting and stuff like that, parlay. And I think you need Harrison Jr. to get X amount of catches. I don't really know how it all works, but he was sitting there like right before halftime, rooting for the Cardinals to push the ball, and they threw one bomb downfield to Harrison Jr. and thankfully he didn't catch it. And he was like all upset. I was like, man, are you a Lions fan rooting against your own team? That's why I don't really get into fantasy football and the bets so much, unless I'm just going to bet on against the Lions, because I don't want to root against my own team. Everybody's different. I get he wanted to win some money. But, I struggle with that aspect of things. Let's see. JDC, Lions King, I want to be high when she holds that trophy. Well, go for that, my friend. Dan, laughing out loud. JK, Amy, any word on Anselone? Yeah, he should be fine. He's not even on the injury reports anymore. He practiced last week. My guess is it was kind of just a precautionary move, keeping him out so he wouldn't have as much opportunity to aggravate the brain injury. So I think long-term for the player, that's probably the best move. See, Detroit D, let's see, 27-24. I'll take it. As long as it's a win, I'll accept it. So thank you for that. See, Bo, Morning Dew Crew, little setback, Jason, but I still see Super Bowl. Woo! Well, hey, welcome back to the show, my friend. Phil, awesome. JMO is going to Class Tech games and supporting the city. Yeah, Cass Tech games or Class Tech. Okay. Yeah, and I know he's been going to the Tiger games too. So I think he's pretty much been a man around town supporting all the local teams. Let's see, JDC getting real in the D, 100%, my friend. Good to see you this morning. Courtney, past does not equal the future. Lions win 24-17. That's correct. Whatever has happened in the past doesn't mean it will necessarily happen again. Hookadoo, Miles Margaret, they do, brother, 100%. Dan, flight's about to take off. Have a good day. Watch the rest when we land. Well, go enjoy your flight, my friend. We'll see you on the next one, my friend. Have a good trip. See, Phil laughing. Phil, she can hold the trophy. She can't hold the trophy. Dan will lift her. There we go. I will lift her on up to the promised land. Lions King, ha ha ha. JDC, Dan can cradle Sheila Hamp, just like Mini-Me. And that's a bold strategy. Let's see. JK, hey, Dan, I can hear you now. Yay. The 0 has to go on the Seahawks. Lions will land their team. Wait a minute. Lions will hand their team the first loss of the season. Yes, let's hope so. That would be great for us. Daniel, what do you got? Yay, I made it 2 mornings in a row. I can't wait to see the Lions beat the Sea Chickens. Go Lions. Woo! And good morning to you too, as always. And yeah, hopefully you can actually hear me this time. Let's see, Miles Margaret, Dana Slope, yay, good morning, back at you. Hatman's better have, good morning, Duke Crew, exclamation points. Have a great weekend, go Lions, same to you. Hopefully it is a phenomenal weekend. Phil, I want to see Sheila getting a champagne shower. Let's see if the Lions can make that happen later this year. Hookadoo, 34-28 Lions grit. I like the way you're thinking. Lions King, I want my 75-inch TV full of blue and silver ticker tape. Well, we'll make that happen at the victory parade. JDC, Thunder and Lightning, I concur. Bo didn't want to hear Florio anyways. Well, there you go. There you go. See, Scott, continue. There you go. Hookadoo, I like the clips, coach. Okay, I'll keep trying to incorporate more and more of those. Mega clip, video clips are good. I will keep. Thanks for the feedback. Clips are fine. Dan O'Damas is better. I will see if we can get a guest appearance from Dan O'Damas sooner versus later. Rich, Dan, I like the clips you add. Woo! I'll keep working on them, Rich, and thanks for the feedback. JDC, coach, clips are good. Moment of silence could be debated. Okay, fair enough. Yes, maybe every once in a while, but hopefully not too often on the moments of silence. Lions King. No points in the second half is not a trending upwards for Jared Goff. Yeah. I think overall there's a lot of different layers to that, but he's got it. Him and the offense, all aspects of the offense, need to make sure that doesn't happen again. It's playing with fire. All right, Phil, we have a new one coach. Has the effect? We have a new one coach. Has that affected our line play? I think there's a lot of layers to that, Phil. My opinion, and this is more me as a coach answering this. I think, I hate bringing this up all the time because I feel like I bring it up too much, but I think not playing the preseason, at least somewhat, has slowed the development. You've built in Zettler. You moved Glasgow over to the new side for him, or the left side that he hasn't played. I think that's basically the biggest reason the line has struggled at times. It's just all the nuances, learning to communicate and adapt together. I thought it was egregiously so against the Rams. Some basic stunts and pulls that I didn't think was anything over the top watching them replays and tape. I was like, man, you guys should not be getting affected by this stuff that easily. But when you haven't played together, you haven't learned how to make line adjustments together, communicate, now asking to do it in live combat. I didn't think that was a good setup. Hookadoo, but with the clips, Dan, is when you hit the mute button. Yes, this is true. That's why I'm just trying to avoid even hitting the mute button at all. So you guys might have to endure me clearing my throat every once in a while. Bo, no single thing, a bunch of little things to fix. Yeah, 100% with that. Lions King, Jameson Williams, 0 targets. That's not good. He did have 1 catch last week, and I think he had 3 targets last week. But some of that is Lion King. I can only offer you my take on it. Last week, I thought the Cards, more than the Bucks or the Rams, paid attention to J-Mo. So if you're trying to limit his catches, that should leave somebody else open. The other part is, too, the Lions got to move the ball overall better. I will say this. Nobody yet has really tried to take Tim Patrick away or Allen Robinson, although Robinson's one snap last week was on a running play. Phil, keep your eyes on the prize. Super Bowl. Woo! I'll go with that. Let's see. Dimitri, what up, though, Detroit fam? What's up with you? Hopefully a great start to your day. JDC, coach, keep the mic on the X and put red tape over the mute button. Those blankety blank buttons. Yes, I was actually thinking about doing something to block it, but then if it was an emergency, I might have to hit it or something. I don't know. There's no easy answer. Just avoid hitting it, I guess. Hetman, JDC, hi, good one. Phil, watch for J-Mo this game. Could be. Yeah, watch how the Seahawks play. If they're going to put 2 guys on them, then somebody else is going to be open. Of course, if they try to take away St. Brown or Laporta or whoever, then yes, you're going to free him up, and that's probably when he comes more involved in the offense. Lions King, number 17, is our X factor, I think. Let's hope so, and I think you could be right. I'd say, JK, we need Goff to fix his trust issues throwing ball to Laporta especially. Yeah, and I think early in the season, I think that's also why J-Mo got more catches is Goff, in my opinion, was trying to force the ball to him, trying to force it to St. Brown, especially after the Rams game. I think you just got to go back to saying, hey, who's open? That's who I'm throwing to. Dan, good morning, Duke Crew! ! How about them Tigers? We get blessed with Tigers playoffs and Lions on a run to the Super Bowl. Great time to be a Detroit fan. And you got the Red Wings kicking off. Pistons are coming up. I don't know if I'd have too much optimistic appraisals about the Pistons this season, but maybe they'll surprise. JDC refused to lose. Scott Belly locked on Tigers. We'll go with that. Phil, is Isaiah Williams off the injury list? I haven't seen him on this week's list. My anticipation is, will he dress? It could be a game time decision. He could be an inactive. Bo, last I realized, I don't know the current Tigers. Okay. Let's see. Full slate farms. What do you got? After the bye, the offense breaks out. The Dallas game, they will feast with all the Cowboys injuries. Could be a whole lot of truth to that. I'm hoping we start that feasting this week, though. That'd be great. Dana, what do you got? I think we're going to break out. Also, it's going to be run game. Yes, let's hope so. See, Phil, will the Tigers take some of the mojo from the Lions? Maybe on a short-term basis. I mean, they're in the playoffs now, so I get maybe attracting some fans. Looks like fans have really been coming out to the Tigers games as of late. Dana, great salutations. Dan and Duke Crew, back at you. Dimitri, I say keep on trucking, baby. Run the ball. Oh, yeah. I like the way you're thinking. Dan, Phil, I think this will just energize the Lions more. The more Detroit teams you have doing good, the more high energy we have. Yeah, and with both stadiums being right next to each other, I'm guessing fans feed off of one another. Hatman, beautiful morning with the open mic and woo, coffee. Yes, we've got the mic going, and hopefully all is well in listening land. See, Phil, congrats on 20 now large mouth bass yesterday. Man, you caught 20. That's awesome, man. You are on roll, it seems likely. Inch, yeah, I figured that's where we're going with that. Let's see, Hatman, awesome, Phil, 100%. It was Don Berg, Coach Dan with the fresh haircut. Yep, I got my hair cut, I think last week maybe, but maybe I actually did it today. Maybe that's the change. Let's see, Courtney, D-line shines. Kirby gets another pick. Offense puts the ground, chew the clock. Woo! Win. Hey, whatever we got to do, just win, baby. Jameer, did you see that hit on Davenport? That dude purposely hurt Davenport, and go and watch the clip. He should be kicked out of the NFL. So I did a video on it, whatever it was, a couple days ago, and I know there are other people that got to it before me. The only thing I can say to anybody is, to me, the issue with the karate chop on the elbow is that it was the second time it happened. Just to me, the chances of it by mistake happening twice, same guy on the same player. You didn't do it to Hutch. You didn't do it to, I think, Josh Pascal, but you did it to Davenport twice. So maybe there's some sort of pre-existing beef between those two we're not privy to. The first time it happens, Davenport goes to the sideline. You know, he gets it from the medical staff. They brace him up a bit. And then it's like 2 or 3 plays after he comes back, that chop happens again. The hit on Barnes' knee, I get the guy's trying to set a block on a running play, but he goes down. He doesn't try to hit him in the hips or the waist. He goes down right to the knee and hits it flush. That's where I also think, man, could it just be a mistake? Absolutely. Could he be intentionally trying to take out somebody's knees? That's also true. Let's see, Hatman Phil, 4-5 pounder. There we go. Let's see, Phil, he was a heavy. If he's 4 or 5 pounds, yeah, that's a pretty good size one. See, Dimitri, Don Burr, what up, though, Detroit fam? 100%. Phil, here it is. Oh, yeah, you got it in the picture, the thumbnail. Okay, I see it. Yep, I got you. All right, Phil, nice, Phil. I see both. Nice, Phil. Don Burr, Phil, Silver Bass still running. What state are you in? I want to say he's in northern Michigan, but don't hold me to that. Hatman, Phil, awesome. Jameer, he chopped him at the elbow with his elbow slowly play the hit. Yeah. And if you go back and watch the clip we put up a couple days ago, you get it from multiple angles. You can see it happening. The worst part for Davenport is he's got that left hand and he's holding the guy's lower jersey, which is legal, by the way. And so it really puts his tension on that elbow. It straightens it out. And that guy chops right down on it. So it's unfortunate. I'll see Don Bird, Dimitri Flintstone, exclamation points. Phil, Michigan. Miles Barker, Deidre says he hopes he continues getting his first down each game when necessary. Let's hope so. Bo, we covered the Davenport injury already. Yeah, we got it out there. So, Jason, I rewatched the last year's game. Our rush defense didn't look that good. No, the last few years, to be fair, we got chewed up by the Seahawks on the ground quite a bit, I thought, which set up play action, which put them in a lot of bad situations. You're also going to have to stop the play action rollout, which I know the Seahawks have done to us, it seems like every game the last several years, which Smith beautifully, and give him some credit, he's used to his advantage. He's picked us apart, and he's also got out and run. So I think you're going to have to really limit that. I like what we did against Murray last week. I think we're going to have to do that Monday night. Don, small mouth usually run this time of year in Michigan. This is true. Dimitri, Dan, bro, we made it through the hurricane. The city of Atlanta was underwater. Thank God I made it through. Glad to be back. Can I get a woo? You know what? Hey, we'll give you made it through all that. We'll give you a woo. Glad you're okay, my friend. Glad everybody down there affected by that hurricane is, I get not all will be, but hopefully as many people as can be are okay. See, JDC, woo! Phil, catching smallmouth, two 16-inch smallmouth, too. There you go. Jameer kind of been missing the show. Hey, glad you're here today. Glad you're safe. Glad you're all's well. So, you can always go back and rewatch them if you want to. But again, glad you're here. See, Hatman, Phil, I'm still waiting on the phone call. There you go. Let's see, Don, Phil, that's good stuff. Walleye biting, man, I want to go fishing now. Okay. JDC, Phil, I just drowned worms there. That's a bold strategy, Phil. Okay. Let's get to some lion stuff here. Laughing out loud. See, Mom, I will be a very golf slappy. Yeah, let's hope he has a good game. It's a final countdown. I hope for the Pack versus Mini tie. Man, if we can get a tie out of them, that would be great. Final countdown, and just for you, woo! Let's see, JDC, Dre, crazy legs, Forge rocks. He does, and hopefully he continues to roll with those legs. Hookadoo, same here, Miles Margaret. Goff is my Lions quarterback, 100%. Do, says Don Burr. Let's see, Phil, we don't keep anything. Wife won't allow killing fish, okay? Don, I understand. See, Dre Forge, 100% Miles Margaret. JDC, let's hope the opposing teams fight it out amongst themselves. Lions just take care of the next game. I like the way you're thinking. That's some real coach speak there. Miles Margaret, Dimitri Sir, glad you're safe, bro. Yeah, 100%, man. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully Atlanta gets back. I know there's going to be a ton of places down south affected by all this. Hopefully, yeah, everybody that can be safe is safe. I would like a cold day in hell before I root against the Lions. Roar Detroit. Yeah, it would be a cold day. Yeah, 100%. Mark, what do you got? Lions win if Goff does throw another pick six. Lions win. Okay, we'll go. Well, that's one way to do it. See, Hetman, Hookadoo, amen. Dana, what do you got? Lions 28, Sea Chickens 24. Let's make that happen. Just win, baby. Dana, Miles Mark, good morning. Let's see, JDC, coach looks like he's moving even when standing still. No, I stand throughout all these, and every once in a while, I got to move my legs, my feet, otherwise they start stiffening up a little bit. So yeah, I stand at this station when I'm trading and everything. So I stand about 12 to 15 hours a day. See, Dana, thumbs up. See, Chuck E. Cheese, good morning, Coach and Duke crew. Woo! My mother lives in North Carolina, no power. Be safe. Floods everywhere. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of that area down there is affected. And again, thoughts and prayers for them all. Let's see, Bo, no games for me this weekend. Just Lions, Monday Night Football. Happy trails, y'all. All done and dusted. See you later. Have a great weekend, my friend. We'll see you on the next one. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. Phil, Kirby, pick six. Let's make that happen. All right, guys, if there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as fast as I can. If you would be so kind, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Also, before you check out, if you would think about it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You guys all know those help out a ton. Otherwise, be safe. If you've been affected by the hurricane, hope thoughts and prayers for you and your family, your friends, everybody involved. Take care. Enjoy your day. Be kind to each other. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Happy trails.